Hello everyone, I'm Tanya with Ribbon Branch Crafts, and this is the tutorial for the eyeball s'mores clay kit that if you purchase this in my Etsy shop, this is the video to show you exactly step by step how to create that. So what you got in your kit is you got two different size of eyeballs, okay? Then you also got some little gummy bears of different sizes and colors, two pieces of board, and then you got some of the Ribbon Branch black clay crumbles, okay? You also got some clay in your kit, and I'm going to show you. We're going to go ahead and start. So we're going to start off with our cookie dough color. And this is conditioning. You want to do this if you're new to working with foam clay. This helps condition the clay and get it ready for you to work with. So what we're going to do is we're just going to roll it out. And we want to roll it out wide enough and long enough to cover around our whole two pieces of foam. Okay? So you just hold them up like that to make sure that you have enough room. And then we're going to put a little bit of super glue. Put it down just like that. And just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and cut in between. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start forming it around our base. You just slowly and gently urging it up. Okay. And then we're going to trim off our excess. And just use your fingers to smooth it out as best you can. Okay. So that's one. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to our other one. We're just going to start slowly lifting it up. Trim off your excess. Work it around. Okay. And these are already done. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go in. If you have a tool like this or a butter knife will work if you don't have your tools yet. If you need a beginner's kit, we carry those in my Etsy shop if you need one. But we're just going to go right in the center and drag a line down. Okay? We're going to do that to both of them. Now, once you've done that, take you some sort of ball tool like this, and we're just going to poke some holes in the top. Okay? Okay. We have our 2 graham crackers, okay? So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, you were given in your kit some of the milk chocolate color. And we're going to go ahead and start doing some of our little chocolate drips. So just condition your clay. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little ball of clay at a time and we're going to roll it in a ball. Then after you roll it in the ball, we're going to create a cone by putting our hand at an angle like this when we roll. Okay? Then with your finger, we're going to very gently press. And then we're going to center it on our graham cracker and put it on there. These do not all have to be the same size because this is, it's a chocolate spatters. So don't worry too much about trying to make them look exactly the same. It'll just add to the character of what you're doing. Okay, just going to keep going around. Okay, once we get our 4 corners filled in, now we're going to do one in between. Just like that. Okay, and if you want, you can press it down and make it go closer to the edge if you want. You can make it look like it's spilling over a little bit. This is where you can use your own creative freedom with this design to make it look how you want it to look. Okay, so now that we got our pieces on, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take you had a large and a smaller one. You want the bigger one for this part, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put some super glue right here and we're going to press it directly and gently into the center of our graham cracker and chocolate. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we have a good amount of clay to anchor this piece into. So what we're going to do is just put us a little ball of clay right there. So now the next thing that we're going to do is put some super glue on this part, and we're just going to center it and press it down gently. Okay, this is what we have so far. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back in with more of our chocolate, and we're going to make more drips to put on top of our eyeball. And for these, you're going to need a little bit of tacky glue, and we're going to make them a little bit longer just to make sure that we can see them good. You don't need a lot of super glue, just enough. And I'm going to start on one side of my eyeball. Okay. Just gently press. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit shorter ones to make sure, because we don't want to cover up too much of the actual eyeball part. I'm going to put one, we're going to start off with 4. And then put one in between like we did on the bottom piece. Okay. Just keep making them cones. Okay. And that's what you should have so far. Okay. So now we're going to put one in between each one of these. And you want to have them a little bit different sizes, varying, so it, you know, it looks more like a drip. And now since we have a good bit of clay on there, I'm not going to worry about doing more super glue. This is a very good beginner project where you can, another way for you to learn your basic shapes and how to move your hands to get these cones and logs and things like that. And I promise you, if you feel intimidated or you feel like this is something you're not sure if you can do, I promise you that you absolutely can. Okay, so this is what we got so far. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our other graham cracker on top. And how we're going to do that is just put a little bit of super glue, and we're going to center our graham cracker and then gently press that down as well. And this is what we have. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the second eyeball that you were given in your kit, and we're basically going to repeat the process. Okay. We're just going to do some I'm going to do a little bit less on the top than we did on the bottom. And I also want to create one on the top where it looks like it's dripping over the side, okay? And I will show you how to do that. So we're just going to get a bigger cone, flatten it a little bit with your finger, and then we're going to go in and just very gently tack it around. And your piece will dry just like that. Okay? You don't have to do this, but it is one way that you can add more dimension and depth and character to what you're making. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple more on. And I'm going to leave this front space. As you can see, I kind of left that open, and there's a reason for that. Okay. I'm going to do one more that's hanging over the side. So we're just going to take it just like this and go over the side. Okay, so this is what we have. See this little gap that we have? You want that, but this is where we're at. So now we're going to do the same thing we did with the bottom. Take a little ball of that same milk chocolate and press it in the middle. put some super glue on this part of the eyeball. And then we're going to center it and gently press this one in as well. Okay, so this is what we have so far. You're going to take your last couple drips that we're going to make. And we're going to put a few on top of our second eyeball. And again, I'm not going to put as many on this one either. Okay. All right. Now, once we get this on, this is where we're at. Okay. So now the next thing that you got in your kit, got super glue stuck to my finger, guys, is you got you had some white that you got in your kit as well. And for the white, I'm gonna show you how to make a little frosting whip that's gonna go on top of his head. So you're just gonna get your white clay out, and we're gonna roll it into a log, a long, thin log. Try to get it as even as you can. And we're going to taper it off on one side, just like that. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start just like this on the back of the head. And we're going to wrap it around. Then when you meet that spot, we're going to bring it in just a little bit and follow that to create our swirl. Okay, that's what we got. Then you're going to take your remaining clay of the white, and we're going to make one more little swirl. And we're going to make a couple marshmallows. So we're going to take our second small swirl, and we're going to put it right here. We're just going to curl it around, just like that. So now to make your marshmallows, we're going to start with the ball. Then we're going to roll a little bit, and then we're going to flatten one side. Roll a little bit, flatten one side. Roll a little bit, flatten one side, and there you go. You have a marshmallow. So I'm going to put one, and you can put these wherever you want to. And before we get too far into that, I want to, we're going to go ahead and put the gummy bears that you got in your kit. We're going to put those on as well. And I'm going to put the bigger one right in front. Okay. Then we're going to put the next biggest one down here. And then the two smaller ones. But you can, like I said, you can put these absolutely anywhere that you want to. It's totally up to you. And now we're just going to go in and make a few more marshmallows to fill in. I'm going to make a bigger marshmallow to go on this bigger space that we have open on the bottom of our s'more. So you're just rolling and pressing and rolling and pressing, and that's how you get a marshmallow. So I'm just going to tuck this one up. Okay. And put this one just like that. And put another one right here. And this is just however many or as few as you want to put on is completely up to you, okay? I think I may put just a couple more on, and then we will be done with this part. Okay, maybe just one more. And I'm going to put next to our bear here. Okay, so then the last thing that you're going to do is you are going to get your last little gummy bear, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of super glue, and we're just going to put this right on top is where I think I want my last one. So now to finish this off, you also got some of the black crumbles, okay? I recommend using Aleene's clear tacky glue for this. And we're just gonna put some tacky glue in random places. You do not have to put this where I'm doing it. This is just a guide for you to help you get ideas for how to use this. And I'm just gonna sprinkle them on. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to the next spot. I want some on my marshmallows. Just tap off your excess and gently press any that you want to stick down a little more. just going to keep going on the bottom marshmallows. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit on our gummy bears. This on the top. I'm going to put a little bit on the side of my graham crackers here as well. And again, like I said, you do this however you think looks cool and what you want your own individual piece to look like. This is just a guide for you to give you the supplies and the knowledge and of the basics of how to do it. And then once you get this down, you can use your own creative freedom to make all kinds of different things. Okay, so we're just going to tap off our excess. Add a little more if you think it needs it. And that's it, you guys. This is the how to do the eyeball s'mores kit that's available. You can go to my Etsy shop. It's ribbonbranchcrafts.etsy.com, and you can revisit this tutorial and all other tutorials that I do weekly updates anytime on this YouTube channel. And I hope you have fun and happy crafting. Thanks, guys.